First at 5, a SEPTA strike threat. Subways, buses, and trolleys could come to a halt in a matter of hours. We're following negotiations between SEPTA and the Transit Workers Union. Now, by all indications, SEPTA and the union are no closer to an agreement now than they were when the talks started in the summer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown. Some encouraging news, at least right now. Both sides are still talking, even at this hour. And even if a deal isn't struck by midnight, we understand there's a chance the transit workers will remain on the job. Now, the union does remain ready to strike at any time after midnight. If that happens, nearly 400,000 people would be left without a ride to work or school. And we're going to talk more about the potential impact to riders in just a moment. But first, let's get out there to CBS Philadelphia's Ray Strickland with the latest on negotiations that are expected to stretch well into the night tonight. Ray.
Well, Natasha, I'm going to start with the good news first, because what's encouraging about these negotiations is that it seems to me that both sides are willing to do one thing, and that's try to avoid this strike altogether. But they do seem to be far apart on some key issues, which is pay and benefits. Right now, they're inside of this hotel in Old City trying to hash out those details, and they tell me they'll be inside for as long as they have to. Negotiations between SEPTA and the Transit Workers Union have been going on throughout the day as the clock continues to tick for both sides to reach a new agreement. The current labor contract expires at 11:59 p.m. And if no deal is done, thousands of workers could soon walk off the job.
I want to do everything in my power to get to the table, hammer out a good deal, and avoid a strike.
But Union President Brian Pollard says the two sides remain in a stalemate over pay and workers' concerns for safety.
Safety and security issues surrounding the job, it's of paramount importance to us because our people are being affected by what's going on.
Pollard says the union is proposing a one-year contract with a 10% increase in pay. He also says the union wants assurances the transit agency will improve security to protect its workers. According to SEPTA, it countered with an offer that will give them no wage increase, but instead a $1,000 bonus in exchange for concessions on health care costs. Pollard called that unacceptable.
So they wanted us to pay for our raise. It's not happening.
We want a contract that's fair to them.
SEPTA's Andrew Bush says the agency's $240 million budget shortfall is making negotiations difficult.
Because there hasn't been a solution at the state level to add funding for public transportation, we're left with a deficit, and that's having a direct impact on these contract negotiations.
But Bush says it's promising that both sides are both determined to get a deal done.
Everybody's engaged in these talks, and everybody has an interest in reaching a settlement.
Now, if workers do decide to walk off the job, all bus, trolley, and subway service in Philadelphia would be suspended, but service would continue on regional rail, bus, and trolley services in the suburbs. Now, keep this in mind, because if midnight comes and there is still no deal, the union could decide to keep working while talks continue. Yuki, Natasha.
Ray, thank you for that update. Now, here's the bottom line. If you are a regional rail rider or use SEPTA in the suburbs, you won't be impacted. However, if you are one of the estimated 400,000 people within the city who rely on the subway, the elevated lines, buses, and trolleys, you should start planning to find another way to get around. CBS Philadelphia's Carrie Corrado joins us now as riders brace for potential problems. Carrie?
Yuki, good evening. The school district of Philadelphia says 55,000 students could be affected by this strike who rely on SEPTA every single day, not to mention everyone else who also uses it on a regular basis. Many people are trying to find backup plans. It was business as usual on the Market-Frankford line on Thursday, but with a potential SEPTA strike looming, it could all change for riders who rely on it.
It will make me stranded. I won't be able to get anywhere.
I can't get around. I'm in an electric wheelchair too, so it will affect me all the way around, going to church, going to store and stuff like that.
We met Latasha Niles at a bus stop at 15th and JFK. She says she would feel trapped too if SEPTA went on strike. It's all she uses and all she knows. Now she, along with others, are searching for backup plans.
I guess I had to catch Uber. Uber costs too much.
gotta get a bike or get a electric scooter or something.
I gotta spend more money to get back and forth to work.
The school district says the strike would impact students who ride the subway, trolleys, and city buses. One mother who did not want to go on camera says she's worried.
It really will affect my child to getting to school. She takes bus, a L, and a bus to get to school.
The district says if the strike happens, they will excuse late arrivals and possibly resort to virtual learning. Staff members could also have trouble. One teacher tells us this would be a big problem.
This would definitely affect me every day because this is what I catch to go to school. If this doesn't run, then I'm late to school.
As the city braces for the potential disruption, riders say it's an uneasy feeling for them and their families.
My little sister actually just started college down Temple, so it's definitely going to affect her because my mom can't always drive her.
This afternoon, Mayor Parker said if there is a strike, that city workers are expected to report to work. She says the city will take measures to make their commutes easier. Back to you.
Carrie, thank you for that.